Hey podcaster, I'm Tim Wahlberg, your podcast performance coach, with another actionable tip so you can sound like a pro and gain more podcast fans. Today's tip will improve listener engagement. Just add bells and whistles. Okay, not literally. Well, maybe, and this all depends on the format of your show. What we're really talking about is using sound effects, no matter the style of your podcast. And if you're going to go down this road, be careful. Know this, you can overdo it. It may become super cheesy, and you might just annoy the hell out of your listener. On the other hand, have you ever listened to a really well-produced podcast? I mean, besides this one? I'm talking about a really slick production that transported you to a different time or place. You'll know what I mean if you've ever listened to a great crime thriller podcast or another storytelling show. These producers are masters at using sound effects to effectively tell their story. This comes from the old radio dramas when people had to use the theater of the mind to keep people's interest. As for today, think of some of your favorite shows that you watch. I'm sure at some point that they flash back to something that happened in the past. First, there might be a sweeper to take you there. Then, sound to set the scene. Maybe music to set the tone. And a visual filter of some sort, like black and white, sepia, or a silhouette. All of these elements recapture your attention and draw you deeper into the plot, hopefully making you more invested. And then they bring you back. A little overkill for your business podcast, perhaps? You're right, that would sound a little out there. But there are ways to utilize sound to enhance your show. These little earmarks can bring your listener back to you, just in case they've drifted off. Just like when your favorite late-night talk show host introduces a segment, then plays the segment intro. Recognize that? If you've ever watched Jimmy Fallon, you'll know instantly that that's the thank you notes music. It's a segment he does. And a segment intro like that never lasts more than about 5 seconds or so. So, how can this work for your podcast? You might have a lightning round of questioning for your guests every episode. Or your "If there's one thing you need to remember about this show" segment. Or perhaps the Jerk of the Week segment. These audio triggers don't have to be complicated or sophisticated. Simple is best. And they can become a real effective tool. You're training your listeners here, just like Pavlov trained his dog. You can Google sound effects and use words like sweepers or transitions or bells or whatever you're after. It could be a piece of music too. It could be a different section of your theme song that isn't heard in your intro. Maybe you have regular guests on your show that rotate, or a panel. Have a little fun with it and give them each a different theme song or element to introduce them. Get creative, but make sure these elements fit your show format and vibe. There is one big mistake that people make when doing this, and I'll tell you that right after I tell you about my 30 Days to a Better podcast program. In this one-on-one coaching package, we'll break down your podcast, how it sounds, your format, and your performance. And after 4 sessions with me, you'll be more confident, sound more like a pro, and have a consistently better podcast. Which brings me to my last point on the matter of introducing new sound effects to your show. Be consistent with it. Anything you're prepared to start, own it. And be prepared to do it for the next 100 episodes. Make sure you put these parts into your working templates. All those sound effects that you want to use, put them in your template so you don't forget about them. These audio triggers can help compartmentalize your show and give it that signature sound that separates you from your competitors. And I hope that's just the tip you need. If you want more info on my 30 Days to a Better podcast coaching package, or you need help with editing, visit podcastperformancecoach.com. I'm Tim Wahlberg. See ya!